Good morning. My name is Edi Santos, and I am currently taking Econ 561 with Professor Michael Gay. This is our week 2 assignment. We are asked to describe a real-world situation that's causing a shift in equilibrium price for a particular product. The product that I chose was the shortage of limes. We have a shortage going on this year in 2014. According to a New York Times article by David Hart that came out on March 29th, 2014, the market price of a box of 40-pound limes went from $25 up to $100. There's two major things that's causing this shortage. One is a disease called an HLB, which is a bacterial disease that's affecting the crops. It's driving the price up. Secondly, there's a lot of activity going on with people stealing, hijacking trucks with limes. It's also driving the price up and also driving the cost of production. So we have companies in Mexico who are now have guards on trucks just to make sure they don't get hijacked. So to start out first, we have a supply curve here and a demand curve here. The market equilibrium price, basically, according to our 18th edition book of economics, principles, policies, and supply and problems, basically states that the market equilibrium price is the price at which the total quantity supplied equals the total quantity demanded. So in this situation, we have equilibrium price right here. So in the situation of this limes, the equilibrium price at one point was $25 a box. And what's happening now is that the high costs and the shortage of resources is causing a shift to the left on the supply curve. And that's costing the equilibrium price to be from $25 now up to $100 here. So you can clearly see that the price is at P1 and it's increasing to P2. Very simple concept. Really quickly, the determinants of supply are resources, technology, taxes, prices of other goods, producers' expectations, and number of sellers in the market. These things will cause the supply curve to shift left or right. The determinants of demand is very similar. Consumer taste, if they change, number of buyers in the market, the income of consumers, and the price of related goods. These are also costing a shift that will either go to the left or to the right of demand. So just want to hit that point really quickly here. Now let's talk about a shortage. What is a shortage? Typically a shortage is when there's a government gets involved in pricing a product either above or below. So if the equilibrium price of lemons or limes at this point is $25 and the government got involved and said we're going to bring the price down to $10, they're going to set the price at $10. What that does is that at $10 a supplier is only going to produce say 5 million boxes, for example, and at $10 a box the demand for that is going to be a higher amount, let's just say in this case 15 million. The difference between these two numbers is basically what our quantity of the shortage. So it would be 15 minus 5 would be 10. So that's a good example of a price ceiling if the government got involved. This is a free market. This is a non-free market. This is government intervention. Here we have another situation where maybe say the equilibrium price, it is $25. But let's just say the government sets the price to $100 a box. At $100, there's going to be less people demanding that product, say 5. And at $100 as a supplier, you're going to be incentivized to produce more. So you'll have a production of say 20. And the surplus is the point between 20 minus 5. The difference between these 2 points is what causes a surplus. So the surplus would be $15 here. So, basically there's a market equilibrium for everything, assuming that there's a free total market. But in the moment that there's any type of intervention by the government, it's going to either create a shortage or a surplus. The other last point that I will cover here is the concept of efficiency markets theory. Now, the efficiency market theories it basically states that we're talking more related with stocks, but not so much price of a product. But let's just say in stocks, for example, the efficiency markets theory states that the stock market reacts very quickly to new information so that at any given time the market contains the sum of all of the investor's view of that market. So for example, let's say today I find out through the grapevine that before it gets publicly announced that Dell Computers is coming up with a new iPad or a new device that's going to be much faster, much cheaper, much more efficient, and I know that the price, say, is $20 right now. If I go out and buy shares of that stock, and I think it's going to go up to maybe $40, I have insider information. I have information that the general public does not know yet. That will allow me to really take advantage of that situation. But in general, what the theory says is that assuming that is not part of the equation, any information that it gets put out there about a particular company or a stock, everybody else already knows about it. So the price at that time is the price of a stock at any particular time, assuming that there's no insider information, is a true reflection of what the market's gonna, what the stock market, how the stock is gonna be priced at. So if the announcement goes on, say in the next 5 minutes about this product, and everybody finds out about it at the same time, you'll see an immediate change in that stock price happen instantly, and that's how efficient the market works. There's a supply and demand, and it works very, very quickly. So that's my illustration here of the concepts of market equilibrium. We talked about the situation with the lines. It's a real-world situation. We talked about the determinants. We talked about the shortage and explained how that works, and also the surplus. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.